I want you to stop now, gentlemen, if you're over 60 and still begin your day with the wrong fruit. That innocent bowl of fruit you had this morning might be the thing depriving you of your vigor, desire, and yes, your morning erections, even if you may believe you're doing something beneficial. After working with elderly men for more than 20 years to help them regain their vitality, I'm Dr. Sophia Jane, and I can tell you something you've probably never heard before. Age is not the issue. Hormones, insulin, blood flow, and the wrong fruit at the wrong time are all involved. I'm going to walk you through 7 fruits you must never eat for breakfast after 60 if you want to preserve your erections, your energy, and your dignity as a man. If you're waking up feeling less like yourself, or if your confidence has subtly declined and you've put it down to aging, think again. The worst part is still to come. The 5th fruit, which can be found in practically every American kitchen, is subtly destroying your testosterone from the inside out. Keep watching, because this video could save your mornings, your confidence, and your performance when it counts most. If you care about your manhood, if you're sick of feeling exhausted, and if you want real answers rather than just more drugs, then pay close attention. Before we get started, please hit the bell symbol and subscribe to this channel, Senior Vitality. I'm here to provide you practical advice for men who want to age with strength. No sugarcoating, no pharmaceutical push. Additionally, please leave a remark if anything I say resonates with you. Type 0 if it doesn't already. I read all of them. Let's begin with the first fruit, which, believe me, deceived even the healthiest men I've ever encountered. Bananas, especially overripe ones, are the most popular fruit. For a long time, bananas have been marketed as the ideal breakfast fruit because they are convenient, portable, and high in potassium. However, most men over 60 are unaware of this. Your blood sugar will jump in a matter of minutes if you eat those speckled, soft bananas first thing in the morning, especially if you're not eating anything else. They're packed with fast-acting sugar. A flood of insulin results from that spike in blood sugar, and insulin is testosterone's adversary. It narrows the blood vessels your penis needs for strong, long-lasting erections, reduces free T levels, and causes inflammation. The worst thing? The deterioration is gradual and subtle. Even while you might not realize it at first, that blood sugar roller coaster silently erodes your effectiveness over the course of days, weeks, and months. Never eat a banana by itself, and if you must, make sure it isn't overripe. To lessen the sugar rush, eat it with fat or protein, such as eggs or nut butter, but if possible, avoid it entirely for breakfast. The second fruit is grapes. Particularly seedless grapes, which are genetically engineered to be much sweeter, are essentially sugar bombs in disguise. Your body may be able to handle that sugar when you're young, but after the age of 60, insulin sensitivity decreases. Your liver processes sugar more slowly, and high-sugar foods like grapes can trigger blood sugar spikes that throw off your hormonal balance. The outcome? Weaker, less consistent erections, constricted blood arteries, and decreased nitric oxide production. Additionally, grapes digest quickly, just like bananas, which means that hunger returns quickly. This leads to another cycle of bad decisions, cravings, and energy slumps. What would I advise? Steer clear of grapes during morning. If you like them, eat a tiny handful after a high-protein lunch, but never right before bed or right after breakfast. Orange juice is number 3. I did say orange juice. Orange juice is not a fruit, which may surprise you. It's liquid sugar that's concentrated. Even freshly squeezed, the majority of store-bought OJ is devoid of fiber. In other words, the sugar strikes your bloodstream like a bullet, and an insulin spike follows. Every time that occurs, it reduces nitric oxide and inhibits testosterone, 2 essential substances for sustaining performance. Even worse, orange juice doesn't make you feel full. Within hours, you crash, feel lethargic, and question why you're not feeling well. This is the reality. Give up the juice if you're over 60 and serious about regaining your strength. After eating actual food, protein, and good fats, eat the entire orange with the fiber still in it if you're craving citrus. Let me take a moment to say something before we continue. Please write "still watching" in the comments if you've read this far, because it indicates that you're one of the few men who are prepared to take charge and face reality. And don't worry, there is still time. Now fasten your seatbelt, for the fourth fruit may surprise you. It's hydrating, delicious, and even touted as being beneficial to circulation. However, the science presents a different picture. The fourth fruit is an abundance of watermelon. Indeed, citrulline, a substance associated with better blood flow, is present in watermelon. Here's the problem, though. Watermelon causes a sugar overdose when consumed improperly, particularly in large quantities or first thing in the morning. Water makes up more than 90% of its weight. However, the sugars break down quickly, raising your blood sugar levels and triggering the well-known insulin reaction. You could feel rejuvenated and moisturized. Beneath the surface, however, are nitric oxide disruption, blood vessel constriction, and testosterone suppression. This translates to a slower response, less confidence, and less firmness. Do you like watermelon? All right. Don't eat it in the morning, though. Never eat it on an empty stomach. Save it for the afternoon after protein. Wait until you hear about fruit number 5 if you thought watermelon was cunning. Almost every American home has it. Tropical, nostalgic, and sweet. However, it's a metabolic nightmare for males over 60. The 5th item is mangoes. See, I understand. Mangoes are my favorite fruit. They remind us of summer and are juicy and delicious. However, most men are unaware that mangoes are a great source of fructose, a type of sugar that has a strong effect on the liver. Furthermore, fructose does more than merely increase fat accumulation when your liver is under stress, particularly after the age of 60. It makes the liver fatty. What does a fatty liver do, you ask? It cuts testosterone. Slower recovery, weaker erections, and reduced sex drive are the results. To make matters worse, the rapid digestion of mangoes causes blood sugar levels to spike, which in turn triggers the insulin surge, inflammation, and hormonal shutdown that we have been warning about. Treat mangoes like dessert if you're a mango lover. Never consume them while you're not feeling well. Avoid them at breakfast at all costs. The hormonal damage is not worth it. Pineapple is number 6. One of the healthiest and most misleading fruits is the pineapple. There is hardly any fiber to counterbalance the more than 16 grams of sugar in 1 cup. How does eating pineapple first thing in the morning affect you? You get a sharp surge in blood sugar. Your system is overloaded with insulin. And that's bad news for males over 60. This spike in insulin lowers nitric oxide, irritates blood arteries, and inhibits testosterone. The trifecta of erection issues is that. What's the worst? Because pineapple digests so quickly, it leaves you feeling hungry again immediately, which sets off a vicious cycle of cravings and exhaustion that saps your confidence and energy for the remainder of the day. Enjoy pineapple after eating if you want to. Never use it as your morning fuel. The 7th fruit is dried fruit, dates, apricots, raisins, etc. Sugar disguised as dried fruit. Concentrated fructose is all that remains once the water is eliminated. Thus, dates, figs, and raisins are not considered snacks. They're sweets. The amount of sugar in a handful of raisins is equivalent to that in a candy bar. Most guys, however, never question it. You assume it's a healthy option, so you sprinkle a few in your cereal and eat them as a snack with coffee. Here's the biological reality, though. Before the day even begins, that quick, high-density sugar overload depletes your nitric oxide stores, lowers testosterone, damages your arteries, and slams your insulin. For males who are over 60, this is disastrous. You no longer possess the same level of hormonal resilience. These blood sugar explosions are beyond your means. Here's the rule then. Dried fruit should never be eaten on its own. Eat a small quantity after a substantial meal that includes both fat and protein if you must have any, never for breakfast. Never be alone yourself. Breathe deeply now. I understand that you may feel overpowered by this. I thought I was eating clean, Dr. Jane. You might be thinking. Fruit seemed healthy to me. I understand, I promise. I was also duped once. I thought I was doing everything correctly for years. That is, until I examined the biochemistry, before I paid attention to my patients, until I witnessed the true effects on aging, vitality, and erections. Here's what distinguishes men who age with power from others who age quickly. They are the ones who adjust, learn, and act. You're different from most males if you're still watching. It indicates that you wish to assume command. This is what I would like you to do. If this video is enlightening you, please leave a yes in the comments. Even better, tag a buddy who is over 60 and should hear this, because what I'm going to tell you next is going to change everything. The 7 fruits that subtly degrade testosterone have been shown to you. Next up, though, I'll show you the precise substitute fruits that maintain good teeth, increase nitric oxide, and actually make erections stronger. Everything changes at this point. Therefore, don't click away just yet, because the fruits you're going to learn about have the potential to permanently alter your morning routine. Let's change our focus now that we've identified the 7 fruits you should avoid eating in the morning. Because staying out of danger is only half the story. It may surprise you to learn that there are fruits that don't sap your masculinity. In fact, they contribute to its fueling. When properly consumed, these fruits promote healthy testosterone, raise nitric oxide, and even lessen inflammation in the blood arteries that supply erections. First, berries. Berries, indeed. Little powerhouses of nature. Berries, as opposed to bananas or mangoes, are rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and loaded with substances that enhance blood flow and preserve blood vessels. Anthocyanins, which are abundant in blueberries in particular, assist restore endothelial function and combat oxidative stress, keeping the lining of your arteries elastic and smooth. The arteries down there are part of that. Berries fiber also helps you avoid the insulin spike that destroys testosterone by slowing down the absorption of sugar. Therefore, if you're craving fruit in the morning, try a modest handful of berries with eggs or Greek yogurt. Maintain equilibrium. That's how a man who still has it starts his day. Avocado comes in second. I understand what some of you are thinking right now. Are avocados considered a fruit? Yes, in theory. Additionally, it may be the most potent fruit for testosterone. Monounsaturated fats, which your body requires to naturally produce testosterone, are abundant in avocados. They are also high in potassium, which lowers blood pressure and balances salt, and magnesium, which increases free testosterone. Better still, they have almost no sugar. Therefore, there is no hormonal collapse, no insulin surge, and no decline in performance. Add one to your smoothie or slice it up with eggs. It's among the most effective natural methods for restoring your hormonal base. Pomegranate comes in at number 3. Often disregarded, pomegranates are a superfruit that increases testosterone, particularly in elderly men. According to studies, pomegranate juice can raise testosterone levels by up to 24% in a matter of weeks when consumed in moderation. Additionally, it improves nitric oxide levels, lowers arterial plaque, and increases sexual arousal. The rule is to avoid going too far, though. Pomegranates can still raise blood sugar levels in excess. To buffer it, simply take a few teaspoons of the seeds or a shot of pure juice that contains protein or fat. After talking about what to eat, allow me to share with you a quick morning routine that has worked well for me and dozens of my patients. Follow this pattern if you're over 60 and wish to wake up feeling confident and invigorated once more. Immediately after waking up, get a big glass of water. Not water, not coffee, not juice. Consume a breakfast high in protein, such as Greek yogurt, eggs, or protein shakes. Add almonds, avocado, olive oil, or healthy fat. Never consume fruit by itself. If you are craving it, limit it to a little piece of pomegranate seeds or berries. Within a week, this one modification alone can boost testosterone, improve blood sugar, and alter your mood. I understand that you may feel as though the fruit has deceived you, but the real issue is not the fruit itself, but rather the manner and timing of its consumption. Fruit is always good, you've been taught. However, unless you fight back, your insulin response slows down, your arteries stiffen, and your hormones decline more quickly around the age of 60. And retaliating doesn't have to mean permanently sacrificing sweetness. It just means having intelligence. Time is of the essence. Combinations are important. The size of the portion is important. Your entire hormonal day is influenced by every decision you make in the morning. If you do it correctly, you will awaken with strength. If you do it incorrectly, your body will crash before noon. I've witnessed men rediscover confidence in 3 weeks after being unable to perform for years. They changed their breakfast, not because they began taking another medicine. Rick, a 67-year-old patient of mine, believed he was destined to live a life devoid of intimacy and vitality. After just 21 days, he informed me he woke up feeling like a man again after cutting out the sugary fruits and sticking to this precise schedule. Powerful, concentrated, hard. Why wouldn't it work for you if it did for Rick? Imagine waking up tomorrow without eating the banana, drink, or dry fruit. Water is the first thing you do. A few eggs, a few of berries, an avocado spoon. You approach your day with greater strength, stability, and sharpness. No collisions, no desires. Your body gradually starts to recall what it's like to be a guy in complete control once more. This goes beyond breakfast. This is a tactic. It's science. One morning at a time. You are reclaiming your power. I want you to pause and give yourself a pat on the back if you have watched this far. Really, most men don't pay attention to the indicators. They view decreased performance, lack of drive, and exhaustion as inevitable aspects of aging. Not you, though. The fact that you are still here, listening and learning, makes it very evident to me that you are prepared to take back control. The truth is that your body isn't broken. You're not too old. You still have options. You've simply been acting on advice that wasn't appropriate for a man in your situation. What do then? You do something. Begin tomorrow. Get rid of those overripe bananas on your counter. Move the orange juice to the refrigerator's back. Throw away those bars of granola loaded with raisins. Additionally, stop thinking of mango as a morning meal. Eat like a man instead, if you still wish to feel like one. First, water. First, protein. Second, healthy fat. Small amounts of pomegranates, avocado, berries, and other low-sugar foods, if necessary. You can reset using this button, not a diet. Not a penalty. Just going back to using actual petrol, actual food, actual performance. You'll notice improved sleep, greater energy in the afternoon, fewer crashes, and sharper focus in a matter of days. After a few weeks, you may begin to wake up in a different way, stronger, firmer, and more receptive. It will be clear to you that this video was worthwhile when you see that you are reviving. It's because of you and not me. Because you did something. Because you ceased to accept gradual deterioration as your fate. Because you were able to recall your true self. After working with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, I can tell you that when they make a few significant modifications, the impossible is possible. And the first hour of the day is always when it begins. Hormones are surging at that time. The blood vessels are arousing. There is a release of nitric oxide. So why use sugar to undermine it? Why call it breakfast after drowning it in fructose? When you still have vitality, why accept fatigue? You're worthy of better. You deserve better than that. And let me put it bluntly, if you've read this far, you're really in trouble. However, you also genuinely care. Therefore, you are in a better position than 90% of males. Don't stop here then. Don't forget what I said by closing this tab. Take action, today. If you're determined to transform your mornings, leave a yes in the comments section. Give this video to a friend who is over 60 and could use the information. And sign up for Senior Vitality because this is where older men's true health begins. Not with drugs, but with reality. Go to work tomorrow morning. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't mess with hormones. Just straightforward, astute, and effective decisions that revitalize your manhood. You'll sense it. In your vitality, in your attention, in your sleeping quarters. And when it occurs, give yourself the credit instead of me. Because one breakfast at a time, you reclaimed your life. I'm Dr. Sophia Jane. I'll see you in the next video when we go into further detail about the nutrients that help men become stronger, more resilient, and more manly after the age of 60. In the meantime, eat wisely, lead a robust life, and never give up on your passion.